Effective Teaching Strategies in Higher Education by Lydia Kramer-Kite. I currently teach in an entry-level master's and doctorate program for occupational therapists. Our curriculum is hybrid, meaning lectures are online and then the students come onto campus for lab. The lab is hands-on and application of the content that they have learned from lectures and readings. Throughout this presentation, I will discuss teaching strategies for higher education and relate them to the program that I teach in. Traditional learning at universities was often a large group of students in a class and a teacher delivering lectures. Harris and Bacon, 2019. Learning and teaching styles have evolved due to different demands in the world. There are some different teaching strategies that can be very effective and assist in promoting active learning in the students. We will discuss a few of those strategies that I found to be effective in higher learning. Those are demonstration and simulation, flipped classroom, and problem-based learning. We'll start with demonstration and simulation. This teaching strategy allows the instructor to demonstrate an exemplary example of skills, Heft and Scraft, 2017. This type of demoing can showcase the skills needed to perform in the real world as professionals. For the students, this allows several things. It allows them to apply information learning in lectures and reading to the hands-on learning, Sharma, 2017. It increases observational and motor skills of the students. The students will have to watch and demo, and then they need to be able to execute the motor skills themselves. The hands-on experience can connect dots for healthcare students, specifically occupational therapy students. It also helps develop students' problem-solving skills and forces them to become independent learners. The students can work through simulation papers, cases, or role playing of the conditions. This requires them to work through issues that arise on the spot and will promote real world learning. And this allows the students to problem solve as well, just like they would in a healthcare setting. Shunk, 2016. It also promotes collaboration, working with a partner, oftentimes through demonstrated cases or simulation. This can really lead for them to be appreciative of others and their working styles and skills, and it also will allow them to lean on their partners to work through the content, and they show understanding of skills that maybe they're weaker in that their partner might be stronger in. Primo, 2018. It also will increase motivation. So they're going to receive constructive critical feedback and support from their instructor or myself, as well as then they put the content that they're learning on hands in an environment. Sharma, 2017. The students become even more curious based on the real life and what's occurring in these simulations, and it makes them eager to want to become a clinician in treating real patients. Students at this level of education tend to be more intrinsically motivated, and they learn information as it leads them to their end goal, again, to be that clinician. Ryan and Decky, 2000. So then we're going to move on into the flipped classroom. Okay, so the flipped classroom, this is where the lecture content is online and it's done before the class is held. So the students are going to watch those online lectures or PowerPoints, and then when it's time to come into class, they're going to apply those skills. The lectures or the in-class time is really for the student to get those hands-on skills, where the lectures and the online content is for them to get foundational understanding. Harris and Bacon, 2019. The lecture or on-site time is where the students can really just, join that foundational learning with hands-on learning, which is so important for healthcare students. OTs really need hand-on skills to be able to carry this out into the real world. And this is from Magra and Alsma, 2013. It allows the student to really develop those critical thinking skills, which is crucial when being a healthcare provider. Harris Bacon, 2019. And this promotes independent learning. It requires the student to do work ahead of time, develop questions, discuss points, and bring that to their teachers and peers to figure out and work through those issues. The student must really come prepared, or their classroom time is kind of a wasted space if they're not bringing information in that they should have watched on those lectures. And then all around, again, it's going to increase their motivation to learn the material because they have to come prepared. And it motivates them to learn the information before they even come to class so that they can discuss with peers and their professors. And then as we move in to problem-based learning, compared to traditional lecture, this is where the teacher, gives information or answers to the students. What they do here in the problem-based versus that traditional is they kind of present problems, and then the student has to work through the solution. This promotes more active learning because it forces the student to work. They can't just get the information given to them, they have to work for that information. And that's a really crucial skill for occupational therapist, Harris Bacon, 2019. The teacher serves as a facilitator and focuses more on assisting the student through the problem versus giving them facts in a list. Go and King, 2015. The transferable skills are crucial that they learn from problem-based learning. So what happens is they learn skills that they can transfer and take on with them in an employee sense, which is really important for occupational therapists and healthcare providers because they are regularly having to think on the spot and work through skills. So that transferable learning it's moving from the classroom to real life. And then also, it's going to improve their collaboration and communication skills with their classmates because they're having to critically think and problem solve, and that's going to really have them communicating and collaborating with their peers, which is something that they're going to have to do as a healthcare provider. You're having to talk to doctors, other therapists, nurses, caseworkers to make sure that you're providing the best care for your patient. And then it also is going to require them again to be that active participant. They don't get to just sit back and passively get taught what they're supposed to be learning, right? The teacher's not going to just be giving them facts. They're really having to work through the content, which is important. So what's all this mean and what do we do as instructors? So the research doesn't support one single teaching strategy, and it doesn't really say that one of them promotes critical thinking and active learning more than the other. But the research does offer several strategies that can be helpful in assisting those skills in higher education. So using a combination of teaching strategies can be super beneficial in promoting active engagement. I discussed a few of the strategies that I have used in higher education. These are not the only ones. These are just ones that do work in the higher education of master's and doctorate occupational therapy students. And what we really want to do is we want to engage and motivate our students by making them more active in the learning process, and that's key for developing skills that they need as healthcare providers. Shunk, 2016. And as instructors, we can promote a safe learning space. This can be set up through simulations or discussions and debriefs, Sharma, 2017. And we're going to be providing appropriate level of difficulty, so we want the just right challenge. We don't want it to be too easy because they'll get bored, and we don't want it to be too hard because then they won't attempt it because they're afraid they're going to fail. And we want to meet them where they're at. Where is their boundaries of learning here? And we want to build on those past experiences and kind of up the ante so that they're being challenged. And then we want to provide critical thinking skills and have them be able to work through and problem solve. This is Go Kang, 2015. And we really want to allow the students to believe in themselves and their skills or capabilities, Ryan and Decky, 2000. And just to wrap it up, you can apply any teaching strategies that you find that's provided by research. And oftentimes as instructors, we're going to use a combination of those to help promote the learning for our students. And our goal, or my goal as an instructor for higher education, is really to promote active learning. And a lot of the active learning that we provide for our students, it's going to motivate them to want to put in the work, to want to learn the material, because in higher education for master's and doctorate, their goal is to be that career goal, right? Or to be that occupational therapist. So now I'll switch over and show you my references. All right. And one more page of references. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.